for, absolutely, right. Because that's a tricky situation when you've got roads that are so intricately.
Okay.
Say that again?
Now they're at Equipment, approaching Equipment, going through the light, northbound on North Main, approaching Equipment. It looks like they just went through Equipment. Moving towards the north side of town. This starting out on the southeast side of Houston, now going through the streets of downtown Houston, and now moving to the north side of town. This chase underway for a good 20 minutes or more now.
We're getting closer to Hogan now.
And once again, as we look at this, we saw a number of close calls. We did hear reports of him hitting at least 2 vehicles. We saw him come close to hitting a pole, thought that maybe that was about to stop this, but it didn't. Somehow the driver was able to get around that pole and keep going as he made his way from the southeast side of town into the streets of downtown Houston and now on to the northbound side of town on North Main. Once again, looking like the vehicle is slowing down, but once again, continuing to go through the red lights. We just saw him go through another red light there. And fortunately, the good news here is, as he encounters these intersections with authorities so close behind him, those sirens are certainly alerting drivers on the cross streets that something is going on. So fortunately, they're able to get out of the way and not encounter this vehicle.
Looks a little apprehensive here. We can't quite tell if he's slowing down to give up or trying to think about what the next move is going to be.
Now he's
picking up some speed here, and I saw 4 police cruisers tailing very closely, this one in particular, and you know that they're planning. They're trying to come up with a strategic plan about where to possibly cut this guy off and be able to apprehend him. We're coming up on 45 again. It looks like the driver may be thinking time to get on a freeway here and pick up some speed. Thought for a second that he may slow down. It looked like possibly thinking of pulling over, but that's not happening. Still on North Main.
Still on North Main, and you know, the interesting thing that certainly this driver is taking into consideration in terms of the freeways and his opportunities to get on the freeway. Quite a bit of traffic on our freeways at this time of day, and he opted not to get on those freeways and try to take these side streets to avoid all that traffic as police continue their pursuit.
North Main just past 45, Jerome. Went over 45.
Okay, so once again, I mean, this chase starting down on the southeast side of Houston, traveling on a number of streets on OST, Polk, Scott, all on the southeast side of town, then going through downtown Houston, now moving on to the north side of town on North Main, continuing on North Main, past Quitman, had a number of opportunities to get on the freeway, did not do that, but certainly has gone through a number of red lights as this chase continues.
And if you're wondering why this person is being pursued, well, guess what? So are we. We don't know at this point, but this driver is putting a lot of people's lives in danger, including his or her own, and driving very recklessly, was going 80 miles per hour earlier. Seems to be a little more cautious, maybe isn't too sure about where they are in the city of Houston or trying to navigate where to go, but not going as fast as the driver was earlier in this chase.
And we just noticed that they turned off of North Main. If you're joining us right now, you're watching KPRC Local 2 News at 6 o'clock. We are continuing to follow this police pursuit, a vehicle that has been traveling as fast as 80 miles per hour throughout the streets of Houston, starting out on the southeast side of Houston, then traveling through downtown Houston, and now on the north side of Houston, approaching
Airline.
Cavalcade from Airline. He's now on Airline, approaching Cavalcade. And you're seeing this unfold right now as we are, as police continue to pursue this vehicle, an SUV, a silver SUV that they've been chasing for close to a half an hour, I would guess, by now.
What's amazing to me is that considering that we're in the midst of rush hour traffic, this driver has managed to avoid that bumper-to-bumper, can't go anywhere kind of traffic, which, you know, that's what police are hoping for, that this person winds up in a bottleneck, something to be able to put the brakes on him. But this driver has managed to work through every single intersection, not stopping, not even slowing down. Went through many, many intersections in downtown Houston, which we thought for sure would slow him down, maybe give police an opportunity to come up with a strategic plan to get this person and maybe nip it in the bud right there, but it hasn't happened. This person has avoided super, super heavy congestion. Now we're getting into a little bit more traffic here.
And of course he takes a side street. We'll find out what this side street is, but it looks like he was approaching North Loop.
Into a gas station here.
It looks like he's going to try to cut across that gas station to get back on another road. And certainly that's what he's doing.
Driver was on Airline. We're not quite sure what street he's turned on, but our producer has been very good in letting us know.
He's by the North Loop. It looks like it's the feeder road of the North Loop is where it appears he is right now. Yes, that's where he is.
North Loop feeder?
Yes.
Okay. Again, a police pursuit that's been going on for quite a while. We've picked it up here in about the past 15 minutes for you. And it started, as Jerome mentioned, on the southeast side of town. We don't know why this person is being pursued, but, you know, they're not showing any signs of stopping for police. And you wonder what's going on in the minds of a driver when you've got, visibly, from what we can see, 4 police cruisers in tow, and you know more are out there. You know, I'm not quite sure how you think you're going to get away, but, you know, something is going to happen to make this person stop, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed that it's not a major accident or some type of injury.
Now, it looks like we see something on the vehicle. I may be mistaken here, but it looks like maybe a tire blew. Yes, we do. We see some sparks coming from the vehicle, so it appears that a tire may have blown and he's driving on a rim at this point.
And Jerome, you know, it's on the same side where we saw that driver go up a curb and hit a pole.
Back on Cavalcade?
Or approaching Cavalcade, I think 45 service road.
But yeah, we can get a good look at this vehicle now, and we can see with the sparks coming out of it that apparently a tire has blown and he's still making it away on the rims.
And that probably happened when we saw him pull up on a curb in one of those streets.
Or if it's not the tire, it's something else that it's fallen off the vehicle and just dragging on the ground.
Hopefully it'll be enough to slow him down and to make this thing come to an end, because we really don't want to see anybody get injured in any of this. And, you know, 2 accidents, getting a little dicey there. 2 accidents have been caused by this so far. We don't know if anybody was injured in those, but, you know, at the earlier point of this chase, this person was going up to 80 miles per hour on some of these streets. So, you know, they are not very thoughtful of other drivers and are only thinking about how they can possibly get away from
Now we understand he's going southbound on the 45 feeder, and it certainly appears there must have been something else under the vehicle that's causing the sparks, maybe a tailpipe, a muffler pipe, or something that's causing the sparks, since his speed seems to be pretty consistent. But once again, as you see, dodging in and out of the traffic here, and police doing what they can to try to get him pulled over, but...
getting close to North Main, just saw the sign there, I-45 feeder.
And it looks like he's about to... he's in it. Whoa, close.
That truck, that's amazing that truck wasn't hit in that.
That is amazing. And certainly that's a challenge for law enforcement trying to get around that. Certainly law enforcement hoping that the...
Yep, just went through North Main. You're right, Jerome, and that is tough, because law enforcement obviously very conscientious of the other drivers.
Certainly.
You know, and you can tell if you see the sirens behind you, obviously you're going to pull over and make some room, but still it's going to slow them down. Got some trees in the way here, but again, from what I'm understanding, we're on North Main.
And we've seen a number of close calls during this pursuit going on now for certainly about a half an hour at least. And we also know that in what we've seen, we understand that at least 2 vehicles were hit. We saw a close call with one vehicle where it looks like he came close to hitting a pole, and then you saw him just now encounter another vehicle. So at least 3 vehicles that have no doubt had some damage as a result of this driver in this pursuit that's underway.
Southbound on Houston Street right now, we see sparks coming from the back right side of the vehicle. Can't quite tell if it's from a tire. The chopper almost gave us a vantage point there, but something is dragging. It appears it would have to be something that's dragging. In light of the speed that he's picking up, it would appear that something is dragging on the road and not that his tire has been blown, that's for sure. But we're picking up more sparks, as you can see there. Certainly as he's picking up the speed, we're seeing more sparks come from the vehicle. And still on Houston, from what I'm being told as well. But you're right, the driver is going a little bit faster, and whatever's dragging underneath there is obviously getting a lot more friction with the speed increasing. Hit a green light there, but this person has been going through red light after red light, and we've seen a lot of near misses. You know, quite a few people have been very fortunate that they haven't been hit by this vehicle. Just went over some kind of a bump there. Still on Houston. I think we're approaching close to White Oak. Yeah. On the north side of downtown here, this driver's been on the east side and the south side of downtown, went even through downtown to the north side, and now, from what we're understanding, getting closer to White Oak. And it would appear that he's getting closer to coming back towards the downtown area. Okay, now we're at Washington. Now. Yep. So he's making a complete loop. He started out on the southeast side of town, headed towards the north side of town. It appeared he was going to continue up that way, but has now since looped around and is now making his way back down towards the downtown area as he now passes Washington. And just past Lubbock, just saw the sign there, so getting closer into the downtown area. Okay, so he's passing right close by the downtown police station. Right, underneath Memorial, exactly. Right. How convenient is that? Now, it looks like he's on the feeder road, not going back on to 45, but taking that feeder road that empties out onto, I believe it's Dallas, over there where this empties out.
But once again, because I thought maybe he was going to go into 45, but this feeder road that he's on right now empties onto Dallas Street. Once again, not that much traffic over in that area, but certainly the way he's turning, the way he's going, he's still on the edge of downtown Houston.
On the west side of downtown.
Having just passed the, not too long ago, just passing the municipal courts building near Lubbock.
And getting close to Bagby now, so we're getting close to the theater district and all the entertainment facilities back there. It doesn't seem like this person has a plan, is just really looking for the least traveled street, but we've seen so much weaving and winding, it's enough to make you dizzy. And now we're back into the downtown area on the west side.
Looks like he's on the service road.
On the service road, and got a few buildings to dodge here from News Chopper 2 to get you a better vantage point. But you can see the flashing lights reflecting in the windows of the different buildings there. Many, many police cruisers are in pursuit. We were able to see 4, but you know there are more. And they're trying to find a way to get this person to stop. Pierce approaching West Gray now. So again, on the west side of downtown. I can't quite figure out why we're going back into the downtown area because, as you know, there are so many traffic lights and signals to be able to get through.
And now it appears if he's on West Gray, it looks like he's going away. Or Pierce at West Gray is what we understand. Right. Looks like he may be moving closer towards the River Oaks area of West Gray. The West Gray Shopping Center in that area. The River Oaks Shopping Center on West Gray.
Right, if he's going, I guess it'd be westbound.
But then again, we're looping around again, so maybe not.
I don't know. I don't know. Silver SUV in pursuit. This has been going on. We've been on the air with this since roughly 5:45. And it started on the southeast side of town. If you're just joining us, we don't know why police are in pursuit, but this person did something worthy of a pursuit. And it's been slow going right now, but earlier in this chase, speeds were up to 80 miles per hour. We're seeing smoke coming from the side of that vehicle. Another turn has been made. We're waiting on confirmation.
And he's on westbound on West Gray, and he just made a turn off. It looks like one of those smaller side streets off of West Gray. A lot
of townhomes in that area, mid-rises, little shops, you know, a mixture. You know, you're just on the outskirts of downtown, so you've got people who live there and warehouses and just a mixed environment in that area. But also heavy traffic, 10 minutes past 6 o'clock in the evening on a Monday. This is the rush hour traffic. So far, we haven't seen too much gridlock. I think police were probably hoping for a little bit more to try to find a way to get this person to stop.
And he made another turn, and it would appear this is probably Dallas. On Webster. Okay, he's now on Webster.
I see a tire missing on the front right side. Do you?
Yeah,
looks like he's driving on a rim.
So it does appear that he's driving on a rim.
That's where the sparks are coming from. Front right tire blown.
Yeah. Which is pretty amazing as you take a look at these pictures, and keep in mind the speeds that he's been able to maintain with that tire gone in, and indeed it does appear that the tire is blown.
We're eastbound on West Gray, Jerome, so it looks like he's making his way back into the downtown area.
The downtown area.
Looks like an older model SUV. I'm trying to see if I can figure out the make, maybe a Chevy, I'm not 100% sure, but just a little bit older, silver SUV. The right front tire is now blown. You see the sparks coming from the rim. A lot of smoke underneath this vehicle, and I'm sure that's what...
Whoa, that was close call again.
That was close, going through a light there. Obviously, this vehicle breaking down is what's causing this driver to slow down quite a bit. Not nearly as adventurous as this person was earlier on in the chase, and that's a good thing. Hopefully, you know, other drivers will be safe as police find a way to get this person to stop.
Okay, and, just past Travis as he heads on West Gray going into downtown, and just made a turn off of... I believe that was after he passed Travis.
Oh, he was in a light rail lane. That
looks like he's on Main.
Right, on Main Street.
He's now traveling on Main Street along the light rail lane.
All right, back into the heart of downtown Houston.
And as you can see, it's a little difficult with the high-rise buildings and such to get a good vantage point from our helicopter.
There he goes,
but there he
just
goes.
past the building.
You see him right there.
Okay, so it looks like he's heading eastbound on Main, going into the downtown area. Where this is
northbound on Main.
Northbound on Main, excuse me. A little dicey here, going off and on the tracks. You know, this may give police the opportunity that they're looking for, but it could also create a very serious situation. We know the signal is a little bit rough as we go through the downtown area, so just bear with us. But again, this guy is driving on rims on the front right tire. You see the sparks flying there. You know, we don't even know if he has a passenger in this vehicle or not.
We don't know that, but it's interesting that he would have taken this road to travel on. I mean, certainly from the vantage point of knowing that in that particular lane, the light rail lane, there would just be a light rail on that lane and no other traffic, of course. But certainly we can expect that probably at some point he's going to be trying to turn off again should there be a light rail ahead. We can expect he's going to be turning. There he is, in fact, turning off onto another side street.
I'm wondering if that's by the mall there. It was hard to make out. Just made a turn. We'll find out what street that is.
It would appear that he would be coming out on this side, but there he is right there.
All right, another building to block. We're in the heart of downtown Houston. If you're just east on Lamar, okay, east on Lamar. We're in the middle of downtown Houston, in the middle of rush hour on a Monday.
So he's going the wrong way on Lamar because that's the Four Seasons building right there.
That's right.
And so he's going the wrong way on Lamar as we take a look at these pictures. Now, not sure where he's going to end up. Certainly for News Chopper 2, it's a little difficult with the tall buildings to find out exactly where. We can see some of the flashing lights from the patrol cars
Should be coming to
that
the
they're in
left of this
pursuit.
building.
And there we go. He's right on the other
just
side.
made a turn there.
All right, so he's approaching the
South
GRB.
on Crawford.
Now he's at South on Crawford, approaching, he's closer to the George R. Brown Convention Center area.
What an interesting choice. You know, if you're going to lead police on a chase to go through the streets of downtown Houston where you've got one traffic light after another in very controlled speeds, and of course a lot of traffic as people leave downtown from a full day's work. You know, this has been pretty tricky for police officers and, of course, drivers in that area wondering what is going on. Okay,
this chase has been going on for nearly 40 minutes now as we consider that it started on the southeast side of town when we first picked up what was going on with it. Another hit right there on that vehicle, that truck. And still the driver keeps going.
And we've got one blown tire on the front right side, which is why you're seeing all the smoke and the sparks.
Yeah, it looks like another tire may have
blown as well. Yeah, just hit a truck back there, clipped the tail.
We see quite a bit of smoke coming from the vehicle now as it goes past St. Joseph's Hospital.
Southbound on Crawford, right there.
Now we're getting closer to Pierce.
Right, on the east side of downtown.
And
trying to find him
as we try to find out where he is, but once again, we know that this driver was approaching speeds of 80 miles per hour as this pursuit was underway, starting out on the southeast side of town, heading all the way up to the north side of town, then looping back around and coming into downtown. And once again, the authorities,
there we are.
We're picking him up again as he made yet another turn. Looks like he may have turned back onto San Jacinto.
And we know he's hit 4 cars. Oh,
and you can see how
the front end damage there. That's right, from hitting that truck earlier.
You see the smoke coming from the vehicle.
He's not
going to
make it much longer.
And it looks like it may be coming to a standstill near the Toyota Center. It's kind of hard to figure out where he's going at this point because of all the buildings.
Right. They're blocked. He's got to make either a right or left and may come around that corner. That's why the chopper's...
And there we go. He's down to the... there you go, to the lower part of the screen. All right.
Just passing the Toyota Center. Okay,
now the authorities getting in front of him.
They're trying to make a move.
Certainly the difficulty here, as we've seen, since he's in that heavy SUV and the damage he's already done to a number of vehicles, and that didn't stop him just hitting the back of a pickup truck, and he kept on going. So it becomes pretty dicey and very tricky for any police cruiser getting in front of this SUV. But once again, with the way he's been driving and the condition of his vehicle, it can't continue for much longer. In fact, it looks like he's slowing down right now.
Yeah. He's on Leland, approaching Dowling to the east side of downtown, past 59, slowing down, either going to stop or thinking about where the next move is going to be.
It looks like he's having to come to a stop.
It's looking that way. This is the slowest we've seen this person drive.
Yeah, he's stopping.
He's stopping. Yeah, that car may have given out. There we go. Oh, now we're running. All right, he's out of the car. He's attempting to run this neighborhood. There are a few houses in that area. There are also a few warehouses around there. Just to the east of downtown where 59 runs. He's past 59 to the east of that. He's running.
He's done.
Police tackled him hard.
Got him down.
Yep.
Police dogs on the scene as well.
They've got him. They've got him. One person left that car. We didn't see anybody go out the passenger
And we're losing unfortunately, we're losing the light at this point. Perhaps, certainly the light from the police chopper that was on the scene as we try to make out how this went down. But once again, authorities got their man. This chase starting about, we would guess about 40 minutes ago as it started on the southeast side of town. A number of close calls that this driver made it in and out of traffic on all parts of the southeast side of town, then moving towards the downtown area, avoiding the freeways interestingly enough, taking side streets, going through a number of intersections, red light after red light. But it all came to an end as we saw that his vehicle, the tires on the vehicle, blew out.
We're going to be learning a lot more about this suspect and why police were in pursuit in the first place. Be sure and stay with Local 2 for more information on that. But in the meantime, we're going to...
For almost an hour tonight, Eyewitness News showed this high-speed chase live as that driver weaved in and out of side streets, going about 80 miles an hour before eventually being busted in downtown Houston. Now, that driver's excuse for why he ran from police is pretty unbelievable. And that is not all the new information Eyewitness News reporter Jessica Willey dug up tonight.
The front right rim of the Yukon is all but gone tonight, practically sheared off during a daring 40-minute police chase in downtown Houston that eventually ended with a tackle and an unlikely excuse.
12 years in police, I heard everything.
The chase started in deep southwest Houston when an officer identified the vehicle as stolen. We tracked it to Kevin Bernardo.
Actually, my truck was parked right next to my other vehicle. And I got out the other vehicle, went to the other vehicle, and I saw my truck to speed, you know, guy jumped in it and sped off.
That was around 9:30 this morning. Just before 6 o'clock tonight, Sky Eye picked up the chase over downtown, where we saw the SUV narrowly miss a cab, squeeze between two cars, and then ride the Metro rail line with sparks flying.
The front right tire came off, and he was driving for approximately 15 to 20 minutes on the rim.
For 20 minutes, the suspect drove on the rim, leaving a cloud of smoke in his wake. At one point, he even drove the wrong way down a one-way street. At Leland and Dowling, he bailed out and sprinted off until a police officer and police dog took him down. We then found out why he may have been running in the first place. He's a parole violator, out on parole for the same thing he's accused of doing tonight. Although that's not the reason he gave police.
He claimed his parking brake was stuck and he couldn't stop.
Jessica Willey, 13 Eyewitness News.
And back live, that reason worth repeating. He told police that his parking brake was stuck, so he couldn't stop. Now, police have not released that suspect's name. We do know he is here at the city jail right now being processed, and he's been charged with felony evading arrest, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and a parole violation for the same thing. Police did a good job communicating throughout this chase. They had patrol cars as well as tow truck drivers at intersections trying to prevent any kind of accidents. We do know that there were 3 minor ones, but nobody was hurt. We're live tonight at HPD Central Patrol. Jessica Willey, 13 Eyewitness News.
Quite an excuse. Thank you, Jessica. Well, a slow police chase on the northwest side earlier this afternoon was much less dramatic. We still don't know why the driver tried to get away from police. He was eventually arrested on the North Loop and TC Jester. The chase turned out to be more of a traffic nightmare along the north side. Drivers were stuck in the backup area very early in the rush hour, beginning early this afternoon.